And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates to the Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier. Rachel,
Yes.
would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Nate, Christopher Hildebrand, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone, and we couldn't do it without you, so thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel,
Jeez.
you're a vegetarian, yeah?
Well, technically I'm pescatarian, but
Okay, yeah.
It's easier for me to just tell people I'm
So
vegetarian.
you can eat pests. Right?
I eat fish and eggs.
Wait, is it only pesto? You can only eat pesto.
I only eat pesto. That's
Pestitarian.
Pastafarian.
Pastafarian. You can only eat noodles.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a serious question for you, and I think everyone's gonna be very curious with your answer. Rachel, you are a vegetarian, yes or no?
Yes.
And you do not eat anything that is sentient, correct?
Correct.
Except for fish.
Yes.
Because
Although
fuck fish.
I don't know if fish are really
I
sentient.
bet you'd punch a trout if you saw one. You're like, fuck you, fish, and you just hold it by its tail and slap it. Like, just slap him in the fucking face.
No.
What a monster.
I would not.
Anyway, back to the original question.
Oh
Could
God.
you, as a vegetarian, eat the Veggie Tales? The Veggie Tales, let's talk it out.
Mm-hmm.
The Veggie Tales are sentient, but by name are vegetables.
True. So, do you want to explain what?
If a vegetarian cannot eat the Veggie Tales,
Do you want to explain what VeggieTales are, in case
they
anyone
are
doesn't know?
they are a series of fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming fruits and vegetables
Uh-huh.
that have eyes and mouths and faces.
Mm-hmm.
And one can only assume, because we've gone over this before, because they have a mouth, they also have a butthole. Because that's how it works. But they are vegetables.
Right.
And you're a vegetarian.
Yes.
So you can eat the VeggieTales? Or no?
I think
If the VeggieTales were
oh my
real,
God.
Rachel, would it be against your ethos to eat them?
are you asking me if I would hunt them down?
No, I'm not
style
like
and eat
not
them?
most dangerous game mode. I'm not saying like you gotta hunt them like you're fucking Dick Cheney. I'm just asking if you would eat the VeggieTales. Why is this so hard? Why are you evading the question? Your Honor, move to strike.
I think that for
Mrs. Moore, you will answer the question.
I think that for a vegetarian, it depends. Their answer depends on why they are a vegetarian, because people do this for various reasons.
Right, and your reason is that you don't like the harming of animals.
Correct.
But these are vegetables. You're
I
not
don't-
harming any animals.
Right, but I don't like that the food industry sort of keeps a lot of these animals like in misery.
Okay, so then let's split it again, because
Okay.
because you're talking about factory farming
Mhm.
kind of things. What if the broccoli guy from VeggieTales and all of his brothers and sisters were factory farmed? They're vegetables. They're in the ground.
Mhm.
Factory farming is sort of like par for the course for vegetables. It's like a free range cabbage. Come on.
I think the VeggieTales are too sentient, even if they were like even if they had like a very good life before they were harvested.
Right.
Because
But they are incredibly.
So, I mean,
clip that. You can clip that. Please. Leave the laugh in, but just bleep the joke. Bleep the joke, but leave the laughter. Right? I like the laughter. I think I've earned that. But you bleep the joke. Fair?
Okay.
You know the way it was delivered?
Oh
No one will be able to get it. No one will have any idea what I'm talking about. Okay.
Oh my god. Okay. I think from my perspective, because of how I have never watched an episode of VeggieTales, but from like what I've seen of them, they do seem like fully like on the same sentience level as a human being. So I would be uncomfortable with eating them. So I'm gonna say no.
Even though all vegetables are factory farmed. Right?
Right, but typically vegetables are not self-aware.
So then there is a level of self-awareness that's involved.
Mhm.
Would you consider it cannibalism to eat the VeggieTales?
You know, the concept of like what is or isn't cannibalism, weirdly enough, comes up a lot.
I love that
in
you are
D&D
making
games?
I like that you are making distinctions here. Oh,
And-
Rachel's
Well,
getting
the thing
into
is
some
that
dark territory.
often I found in D&D games, like if somebody is playing like a gnome or a kobold or something, then they'll say, well, I can eat a human because I'm not human, therefore it's not cannibalism. But from my perspective, if you're eating something that is like fully sentient and has like self-awareness, I would consider that like cannibalism. If it's
What about
something
a
that
horse?
can communicate with you on the same level.
What about a horse?
No, I would say a horse is not. If you're a human eating a horse, you're not committing cannibalism.
What about if you just ate the back half of a centaur?
I
do you
would say that is cannibalism.
That is? Not the front human half.
It's not like there's a like
But they're
mark
already dead.
of
They're already
demarcation.
dead. The butt portion.
But there's not like a line where it's like this half is human DNA and
That's
this
where
half
the
is
hair
horse,
starts.
horse DNA.
Where
They're
the horse.
They're
the hor-
hairy humans.
Yeah, but not that hairy. Traditionally, centaurs have that kind of deep V horse fucking hair starts here.
It's still all part of the same body, though.
So you're saying that the organs that attach the back part of the horse, because of a tube that connects the back of the horse to the front of the man, that makes it cannibalism.
I would consider eating eating any part of a centaur cannibalism.
It's
I'm gonna
because
go
they're
on-
sentient.
I'm going on the record and I'm going to say that.
Oh, okay, so then while you're on the record, you said
Uh-huh.
it was based in sentience, correct?
That is what I feel.
In D&D, true
Yeah.
or false,
Mhm.
ghosts exist.
True.
Spirits exist.
Yes.
They are sentient, correct?
Typically, yes.
Yeah. So when they leave the body, the sentience is gone. So now you can eat any human as long as the ghost has left the body by your own rules.
No,
Why not?
no, because you're still eating something that had sentience.
So it's not. Wait.
It's-
So it's not structurally bound to the sentience. Then it's technically. Is it flesh based?
They were housing the sentience.
So if I had a ghost haunt a Twinkie, I can't eat the Twinkie anymore.
The Twinkie has never been sentient.
It was when the ghost was in there.
No, the sentience was in the ghost.
Right. So then the human body was never sentient. The ghost was sentient. So eating the human's fine.
Okay, this is a flaw
True or
because
false?
ghosts are not real.
We're talking about in D&D. We've already did that. Quit trying to renegotiate our frame of reference here. Is once the ghost has left the human,
Mhm.
is the body now just a flesh Twinkie that you can eat?
I feel like you're trying to like steer this back to Featherfall.
Rachel,
I feel
I'm
like
asking you a
I
question.
feel like ultimately
Do not, Your Honor. Your Honor. May I treat the witness as a hostile witness? You
but
may.
by that
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're answering yourself.
That's don't question the judge.
Oh my god.
I mean, look, you do what you got to do, but as opposing counsel, it's probably a bad idea to do that.
Right.
All right, so is it linked to the tangible corpse, right? Or is the sentience of the spirit what causes in D&D for something to be cannibalism or not? We have established that eating a horse is not cannibalism because the horse's spirit is not sentient.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And so that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a ghost, which is the housing of the sentience in a body, like a human, that falls over, we'll say elf because we're in D&D world. Okay. They fell over and the spirit left, and all that's left is that delicious fucking elf body. What now?
The elf had a brain that also housed sentience.
So you're saying because it had at one point housed sentience, it's no longer, it's cannibalism if you eat it.
Yes.
What if a ghost went into a horse body? Does that change the fundamental nature of that horse? Not like Shadowfax or some cool horse, but just a regular horse. Is it cannibalism then? Not while the ghost is in there, but the ghost goes in,
I'd say
walks around a little bit, and then leaves.
I'm going to say no.
So then you can eat the horse.
Yes, you can eat the horse.
Okay. So then we have acknowledged then that it doesn't matter the housing. It's just the sentience. And once it's out of there, it's fair game.
But your brain also holds your sentience.
The horse's brain held the sentience, the same one that was contained by the human body.
The brain...
Elf body.
No.
Yes.
First of all,
logic.
In
We're
real
adding
life,
one,
ghosts are not
subtracting
real.
one, adding one to another, subtracting
in
one.
Your brain.
But then you're saying that the sentience does not go with the ghost.
It's in D&D. Clearly, there are sentient ghosts.
And when that's what pilots the machinery of your body, correct?
I don't think so. No.
Do they issue driver's licenses to cars without drivers?
I think in D&D, this is my interpretation because I don't know of any official rules on this. In D&D, I would say that your brain, when you're alive, houses your sentience, but you also have a soul, which somehow is also sort of a, I don't know, like copy of your brain or something.
Oh, so you're saying that they're like duplicates?
Like you have, there's like two, I don't.
So while the ghost was in the horse, it was untouchable, correct? You can't eat the possessed horse.
I would assume that would be upsetting for the ghost. But you would want to.
It's just going to leave. This is the second body it's had. It's fine. It'll find another one. It's like Remax for ghosts. Hey, why don't you guys leave some notes in the comments? I'm curious to see where you land on this. Rachel clearly is all over the place. She didn't know how she feels about things. She has still not answered whether or not the VeggieTales are fair game.
I would not eat
We
VeggieTales.
did not even get into whether or not the VeggieTales have souls. I argue that they do not. They have dead, cold eyes, and you can look at them and tell. All right, Rachel, let's get to this episode.
Okay. I also want to say real quick, this episode and the next couple episodes, Nate has very kindly edited for us. Because I've just been kind of behind on getting edits and stuff done, so I'm working on some future episodes just so I can get a little bit of a buffer. Yeah. And Nate has very kindly done some editing for us.
That's very cool of him.
Yes.
I would edit the episodes, but it would just all be this. I would clip out all of the game, and it would just be all the bullshit that we say.
Well, in that case, let's go ahead and go to this week's episode. This is Return to Ravenloft, episode 17, for Discourse Meal.
Woo! Rachel is the Jeffrey Dahmer of possessed horses.
No, I'm not!
All right. Well, So we talked to fucking
Discourse Rex.
Blurble Rex. Right. What was his first name? Darcalus
Darcalus.
Darcalus.
Darcalus. Darculus.
D-A-R.
Darcalus.
Darcalus?
Darcalus.
Is it D-A-R-C-A or U?
You.
Oh,
Darculus, right?
Darculus.
I'll verify right now.
Darculus aboard.
I swear to God, I thought that, but I needed to wait for a second before I said another Star Trek thing.
Yeah.
I figured everyone would just be upset with me.
Nah. Oh no, my bad. There is an A there. Darcalus.
Callus.
Darcalus. Okay. My apologies.
Darkanus. Got it.
Got it. That's what he's gonna do. Oh, never mind.
Whoa.
No.
No. Hologram.
Kaeviir would like to go back to the portal.
In simulation.
Yeah, no, you guys walked into town, kind of looked around, walked up to the tavern, and he came out. So that's where we left off.
I believe he welcomed us and said that he was happy to meet new disciples or something like that, or something to that effect.
He was speaking in multiple voices. He had a red glow on his chest and face. And he said, I am Darcalus Rex, the one, the true, the ancient, the only.
Well, not the only. Right? I mean, 'cause you replaced the guy and he replaced you and then you replaced me.
I have a feeling like speaking in multiple voices and glowing from your hands and chest is like symptoms of Darkonian syphilis or something.
If you have Darcalus,
Darcalus. Hey, there's his name. Hi.
I'm avoiding talking to this guy. I don't like him at all. Like, he just makes me unnerved. And until
Is he speaking to us, David, or is he just sort of like speaking to the town?
Mainly the three of you, since you were new in town.
Okay, great.
We've attracted an audience. Great. That didn't take long. He's humanoid in appearance, though, right?
Yeah, he appears human. He's actually dressed pretty nice-ish. There is, the red glow. You see, like, almost kind of like, the only way I can best way to describe this is almost like, if you guys know Carnage from Marvel Comics, kind of like a red symbiote thing looping around his skin and looping around him glowing.
oh, so like almost.
Carnage
You don't know
Wow.
Carnage?
comics. Hold on. I'm
Oh my
Googling
God.
it.
No, it's fine. Wait till she sees it. It's kind of like it's a symbiote like Venom.
Yeah.
So but instead of being a fully coverage, it's kind of just like wrapped around him like
Venom's
gooey.
like the goo guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
my
And
God.
Carnage is his spawn.
He's his son.
No.
No, it's
He's
complicated.
Symbiotes don't have children exactly.
They
split.
yeah.
okay.
Use the word spawn and goo in the same sentence.
Because he's
So
right. He like
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah, no,
ghoulie.
yeah,
He's a goo light.
okay.
don't
Lights
trust
never
the live
die.
action.
So
Don't trust the live action movie to explain how symbiotes reproduce.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. So he sort of has like is it almost like jewelry that it's kind of has that kind of form to it and it's around his chest?
No,
like
more
almost-
like it's kind of it's almost like kind of like spider webbing around him in a sense.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. So it's almost like little spindles of muscle tissue that kind of
Yeah.
came out of him and
Mm-hmm.
gross.
Okay.
I'm very off put by him, so I'm going to kind of do like a side step. So like I'm constantly facing him, but I am walking around him to get into the bar, the tavern.
We don't see many well-armed travelers in this region.
Well, it's a dangerous swamp.
He nods. It's a free town. You're welcome to stay and listen.
Listen to what exactly?
The
Drink
truth.
specials we here have at the tavern. No, I'm sorry.
The truth. The true Dark Lord has finally returned. The land
And-
will be whole again.
And that's you? You're the Dark Lord?
He gives you this like evil grin that almost just kind of like makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm not registered to vote in this area, so I hope that you'll understand my abstaining.
It's
I'm a
okay.
libertarian.
I'm a
When you grow
libertarian.
up-
I'm going to vote for that brick over there.
It's funny you guys think we vote in this country. He laughs as he begins to walk.
Yeah. It's not really funny back where I'm from.
Thanks, Vladimir. So he walks away from us.
Yeah, he begins to walk through the town like he's searching for someone.
Oh, he's certainly got a high opinion of himself, doesn't he?
I don't think we should stay here longer than necessary.
I don't disagree with that, but
I hate to leave these people in a bind. It looks like they're sort of, they could use a hand. Am I wrong?
no, you're assuming that they're under his control.
I'm assuming that they're looking straight down at the ground when they're walking around. Not traditionally the most inspiring look of the peasantry.
Well, I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but have you seen what the town looks like? I don't know that I'd want to stare at the buildings myself, but I get where you're going with this. Yeah, I don't particularly, go for the whole oppressive thing either.
What do you think, Wonder Woman?
When Darcalus Rex walks away from us, does he have like bodyguards or anything with him? Is anyone following him?
Yes, you see two of his order follow him.
Okay.
What are they dressed as?
Monastery style robes, in a sense.
Cloth, right?
Yeah, they follow the internal order.
Can I roll an investigation check as they're walking away? In
Sure.
particular, the guards, but him as well.
All right.
I want to investigate. Let me roll it first. Oh my God, nat 20 plus 13. I want to investigate,
Wow.
in particular, their hands, their form, and in particular the cloth around some of those points. On their what are they called? The arm piece of the robe towards the bottom.
Mhm.
Does it hang low? Like, is it wide open? Like, say maybe.
Enough to hide something?
Well, I'm thinking like more like the Hulk, right? Like when the Hulk's hands get big, you know how they rip things.
Yeah.
My thing is that if they're not carrying stuff and we're seeing sort of like an emotional or a glowy kind of flesh kind of thing, do you know what I'm talking about? Like that amorphous shape around the guy's neck and stuff like that. I'm starting to think maybe like flesh shaping. So like if they're not armed, but they're his bodyguards, then they're either using magic or they're using some other hidden form. And since the first thing we saw when we came up here was glowy, fucking stringy, pulsy, fucking, I don't know how to describe it, viscera
Yeah.
on the surface.
He's
my
the only
first-
one with it right now that you can see.
Right, but it doesn't mean that people that follow him don't use something similar.
Yeah.
I'm checking to see if there's any discernible way that I could look at their clothing around certain points to determine if they use a shaping weapon.
Okay. When you observe the two of them, you actually can hear almost a slight metal of a chain shirt underneath their tunics.
Oh, okay.
They each carry a dagger on their hip that doesn't look actually like a dagger for combat, more of a dagger for sacrifice.
Okay, so probably casters we're talking. There's only two.
Two here, you saw two at the gate, you saw a few others as you were walking into town. You're not actually sure, you haven't got a full count going through town how many there actually are with him.
Percentage of people to guards that we've seen. Can you give me a rough like 3-1, 5-1?
So far you've seen more townsfolk than guards, easily at least 3-4 to 1.
4-1.
All townsfolk to the internal order.
Right.
How are the townsfolk reacting to him and his guards as they walk through? Are people like actively getting away?
You see mixed with the order. They're kind of both, but there are those that you see that are petrified of him completely, and then there are others that you see kind of hold him in awe. But there's still a fear level there. Just more of a respectful fear.
Okay.
As you guys, he actually walks over. There's the black statue of a woman on the ground. It stands a good 5 feet tall from the ground, made of stone. There's actually 4 candles of it to the right of the tavern. He actually walks over to it and begins to inspect it. And then again, he raises his hands up. And as the red glow goes, he waves the hand down and it becomes just mush and drops to the ground. He's like, nobody's going to serve the Dark Mother here.
Ooh.
So
So
I
he just
know-
waved his hand and it turned to what? Like you said, liquid?
Stone, like, oh yeah, just kind of. And when he walked away, it solidified on the ground as like a kind of just a pool of stone.
I'm just out of curiosity. Did it change color like it was being heated, or did it just?
No, he manipulated the stone.
Oh, gotcha.
Maybe like a stone to earth spell.
Yeah, but did he say anything, or did he just wave his hand?
He waved it. He lifted his hand up. You guys didn't hear him utter any words.
Um,
And then he looks at the two behind him. We should visit the chapel.
Oh, well, that's disconcerting. Question. If this Rex character has the ability to do that, why does he need so many fucking armed guards?
it's a good question.
Seems to me like he'd kind of maybe, I don't know, be able to take care of this all on his own. Looks like the townsfolk pretty much fear the hell out of him. So why the entourage?
Oftentimes a prestige thing.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not
I guess-
necessary. I mean, it's not to say that maybe that there isn't a more potent form that he's waiting for, maybe, or that maybe his power hasn't reached that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could be using guards for a purely, utilitarian purpose, but oftentimes people in stations of power will use soldiers as a flex.
No, I
It's
get
a permission
that.
structure too, to allow people to understand, look at these strong people that follow me. You're less strong than them. You should follow me. It creates a class depth.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Well, maybe we should get supplies and a map if we're lucky. We can ask around, see what the general town consensus is about this guy.
We should be careful who we ask
Yeah.
as well.
I also, do either of you have a mirror?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have a mirror, like a hand mirror?
No, I always look good.
I'm just
No,
kinda-
I of course I have one. So I
Okay.
reach through my coat. Everything all right?
I want to check on Vess and make sure she actually got out.
What?
Vespera, the bard.
How are you gonna do that with the mirror?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna scry on her.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I get a little antsy around mirrors.
What? Why are you carrying
Why?
one?
Not this type of mirror, but just in general, when people talk about weird stuff with mirrors, historically speaking, not a great time with them. You know.
I don't.
Well, you will eventually. You heard about it, right?
Mirrors?
Oh, for the love of God.
No. I kind of leaned down and go, I don't recall her mentioning anything about mirrors during the travel, and neither did Ludo.
I'm going to mutter to myself, I thought we were more important than this. I thought people would have known about what we did. And I'm going to walk over to, I need breakfast.
It's 4:00 in the afternoon.
I want food, whatever sort you have. I would like it. I'm going to talk to the people at the inn.
I don't think this kid follows the general time of when you are supposed to eat.
I'm a
certain
rebel.
meals.
Meal rebel.
So you enter the tavern then?
Yes.
All right. As you enter the tavern, you see it's kind of a dreary scene. You see a few more of the order in there sitting around tables. They're the louder ones. You see a couple of the town folk as well in there. About 4 townies. 3 of the order inside. And then there's a older dwarf behind the bar. Just sitting there cleaning the same bowl with a rag. It seems that he's been cleaning for a while, just kind of staring at it.
Food. Drink.
He looks up.
I'm gonna follow him into the tavern.
Yeah, I'm behind.
Hey, Pip, you said food?
Food, drink.
All right, well, get yourself a table. I'll bring it over. All three of you food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, serve five people.
There's 5 of you. All right.
Well, yes. Yeah.
Kevin here is a growing boy, so you know how it is.
Okay.
Understatement
I-
of the year.
We got food. All right.
And drink.
What do you be paying with? Just
I would assume gold.
you have gold.
I assume that's still the standard currency of the realm, so to speak.
It is. It is. It's rare in these parts now, but it is.
Well, would you like some?
I'll bring the food out.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna take my hat and tilt it back and loosen my baby tie.
I see we've slipped into business casual there, Kevin.
Well, it's best not to push yourself too hard when you're working, you know.
Okay.
It's always nice to take a load off.
Eventually
So-
he comes over with some meat, slides it on the table. He also slides a pitcher and 3 mugs.
Plates.
When the
5
pitcher's
people.
when the pitcher's empty, let me know. I'll refill it. I'll bring more I'll bring more food as you finish your plate.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, and then he comes back with a bowl of bread and a bowl of beans and sets it on the table.
Bowl of sandwiches. I don't know why I like those. I don't know. Just
He looked at him. You got bread. You have meat. You can make your sandwich.
your hospitality is top tier.
Gives you a wink. Walks back to the bar.
Cass is gonna sit down and start looking into the mirror that she got from Kaeviir and casting scrying to try to scry on Vespera.
All right. Give me a roll.
Okay. So would you say that I would say that Kestrel has would she have firsthand knowledge or is she familiar with Vespera?
Firsthand. Well,
Firsthand
what would
is
you say she would have?
firsthand is that you have met the target. Familiar is you know the target well.
Hey yo.
Hey.
Hey yo.
You have to answer how well you know her. I can't make that decision for your character.
She's
Carnal
met her.
knowledge plus
she's-
5 bonus.
she's
Roll
I
met
didn't
her
write
more
her
than
backstory.
once.
I didn't write her backstory.
I would say that they are familiar because they have adventured together.
Hey yo.
Dates?
They have adventured together in a platonic way.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, like Play-Doh.
Yes.
It's a bunch of wrestling.
You know her.
Very Grecian.
Okay. So she has to make a wisdom saving throw, and because Kestrel
She's
is
an idiot.
familiar with her, she has to take a -5 to her save modifier. And the save DC is 18. So she has to make a wisdom saving throw -5.
Can she even
Okay.
beat an 18 at that point?
Boy, I'm gonna need to get some water after this. Whew.
Do declare this podcast has gotten spicy today.
I am gonna draw a comic based
I
on
just,
this.
I just want to make sure she's not dead.
And it's not getting
Oh,
roasted. It's getting
I rolled a 19, but you're lucky with that -5.
Oh.
So you found her.
Okay, so,
So even though it was bad, it was worth it.
the spell creates an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the target. You can see and hear through it as if you were there. The sensor moves with the target, remaining within 10 feet of it for the duration. A creature that can see invisible objects sees a sensor as a luminous orb. Its concentration up to 10 minutes.
Find Vespa sitting on a pier overlooking water. Your horse is with her.
My horse made it.
But that horse has seen some shit.
I know.
It's all banded.
Just kind of sitting there, on the edge of the pier, her legs kicking over the water.
Is there anyone
Just
around
kind of
her?
looking at. Not that you can tell.
Okay. Is she saying anything? Can I hear any background conversation happening?
You can hear the background of a port moving back and forth, just fishermen vessels, ropes, quartermasters calling their crew.
Is Does this look like she's still at what was it, Martira Bay?
No, she is not in Materia Bay.
Okay. Do I know where she's at?
Have you ever been to Navacher Springs?
Kestrel has not. I think that's kind of where Adri got dropped off, but Kestrel has not been there.
Then no, you don't actually recognize exactly where she's at, but she just kind of minding her business.
How did she get all the way over there? We've been gone for like a day.
You guys got dropped through the mist in one place.
The mist transported her there.
Okay.
You said if you could hear something, I'm just thinking, is she talking to the horse?
She's
And
monologuing.
Is the horse talking back? Because if so, that mist really fucked that horse up.
It's a really well-timed monologue that she's just explaining. It's a lot of exposition about what's happened.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Vespero, man, she really didn't. She really didn't bring you those flowers.
All right. Does she look injured at all?
No, she looks fine.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Don't ask about the horse. The horse only has one leg.
The horse is just sitting there shaking.
It's got 3 wheels and 1 leg, and it just drags itself slowly across the ground.
You actually see someone you recognize walking up. You see a certain cloaked figure, female, sit down next to her. You recognize the voice very well as Savra.
Oh.
You lost her? She jumped in the mist.
I didn't jump.
All she did was leave me the stupid horse.
I did not jump in the mist. I didn't leave her my horse. Kestrel's
And
muttering
now it
to
makes
herself.
Now it makes a weird sound. It growls now.
It's because its tongue is boiled off in the back.
It's like, why's it growl? She raised it from the dead.
Oh my god. It
Oh,
needs grains.
fuck. Oh God, he went there. She's like, I think I'm gonna sell it. Just not tell the butcher.
Oh man, that's a steak you don't
not-
want to eat.
That's gonna curse some townspeople.
Zephyr's like, this is how shit really goes wrong. She brought it back from the dead and you're gonna sell it to a butcher. Oh, at least we make some money out of it. Then we gotta find
Actually-
out where she went.
I think I've played that campaign before.
Savra just shakes her head completely.
All right, I will end the scry and hand the mirror back to Kaeviir.
My hands are busy right now. I am literally murdering this bread.
Set it down beside him.
I just hold my hand out and go, here, it'll get sticky if you give it to him.
I was saying that this is real good.
What?
The dwarf.
Can you pass me that? Pass that over there, the vegetable ones.
The beans?
Beans, yeah.
Those are not vegetables technically, but here.
Legumes.
Don't eat a whole lot of those, by the way. Just kind of take it easy on that if you don't mind.
I'm literally dunking entire pieces of bread and pushing them into my mouth one at a time.
Yeah, great.
The dwarf brings over more bread and more meat.
Do you have carrots?
Probably find them.
These are fantastic. You guys should really try some.
Well, we would, but I'm afraid you're going to gnaw off one of my fingers if I try and reach for a piece of bread.
You know, finger meat is a delicacy in some cultures.
I never use the words finger and meat in the same sentence again, please. I just grab a piece of bread and I shove it in my mouth.
You find your friend?
Yeah, she's alive. Actually, she
Oh.
found my one of my other friends, so they should be okay.
Well, that's good. Any idea where they are?
Didn't look like Martira Bay, so I'm not sure. It was another port town.
Well, it's a short list, but not short enough, unfortunately.
We might also have to kill a demon horse later.
The horse survived,
Well, I resurrected it,
but I mean,
but it
I
doesn't
know
always, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I'll file that one away.
Catching it would be the hard part, probably. I would imagine.
As long
His
as it doesn't
reign of terror. Oh, right. Well, this is what I think.
Hmm.
I think we should investigate around this town for a little. Hold on. Yeah, I think we investigate around this town, and then and we see if the people need our help before we head out. You know, your horse is already dead, so there's nothing we can do about that. Your friend seems like they met a friend, so they're good. You don't have any friends. I mean, who would want to be your friend? So there we are. Perfect. You hand me those beans.
I told you to lay off the beans.
I don't care
Come
what
on.
you said. Respect your elders, bitch.
As of right now, that's not official. I pushed.
You saw me grow a foot in 3 days.
Yeah, I understand that. Still not older than me technically at the moment.
Way older than you.
How quiet is this conversation you're having?
It's muted.
Okay.
As we're doing this, I would like to make a perception check around the tavern to get the sense of, you know, one of our reasons to come in here was to see if we could get a read on certain townsfolk and how they may be reacting to the current circumstances.
We can assume that the owner of this establishment has been here before this came through, since this was sort of built around, the town was built around this, right?
Yeah, I would have. Yeah,
The
Well, that
tavern
actually-
is the center of town.
Right, which is why I was saying that, like, when things are built, generally the tavern and the inn, places for the workers to stay while they're building the town, right? That's one of the first things they build. Probably a town hall after that, as it's the most iconic building.
Yeah.
Probably houses after. So what I'm thinking is that guy's probably been here longer than almost anyone in town, or at least he knew the guy who was here before him, right? Even if it exchanged owners, that's at least a direct linkage in people who know the town pretty well. A lot of people come in here, a lot of people probably talking loudly over beers and not as guarded. This might be the best place ever to investigate.
And Aslan hasn't been missing, quote unquote, for that long. So it's not like this town has been occupied for a significant period of time.
It would be very important for us to get a timeline on
Agreed.
how long exactly they've been here. Since he just got rid of this statue and it was right in front of the building, I imagine it's relatively soon.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have probably done that before.
Yeah.
I can't say one thing for certain. This bread is fantastic. I wasn't certain it was going to be. Compliments to the chef who you probably murdered to take this bread from, because this town looks like a piece of shit otherwise. So after our third round of meal, I suggest that we could probably talk to him when he brings us the next thing of bread.
Yeah. Also, please don't eat a third round of beans. At some point, we are going to have to sleep tonight, and
Not
I
all
don't
of
want.
us. Sort of a joke that was a running joke in our when she was who she actually is and not who she is now. She used to say all the time, "I don't sleep, I meditate." You guys, has she done that yet? Has she done that yet, you guys?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
The tavern keeper comes walking over with a pitcher and sets it on the table, picks up the empty one, another bowl of bread.
Hey, pal.
Do you guys require more meat?
Yes, and also some more beans. But if you wouldn't mind, when you get back, if you take a load off, you can maybe sit with us for a minute. I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
He looks oddly at you.
Or I mean, he would. He's Mr. Moneybags.
What he means to say is we'd like to talk to you about the town.
He owns his own ship.
Kevin's very interested in the history of this town.
Very much so.
A fog hut?
Yeah.
No.
Kevin loves genealogy.
I do. Sometimes they bother
Genie.
librarians with it. They just go and
Genie, what? Don't you
bother
really
them.
rub a bottle and the genie pops out? I mean, isn't that
Not that kind of genie, no.
Yeah, the study of
Oh.
genies.
that's good. Never
Yeah.
heard of a good genie in the Dread Realms.
Mm,
All right, I'll bring back more food and I'll sit down.
just
Thank
trying to
Very
ignore
generous
the
of
fact
you.
that
Like I
that-
have any other customers that are paying, he yells at everyone.
That's very generous of you to offer a bribe, Rayne.
Just going to ignore the fact that he sort of kind of made an odd comment about my ancestry, but that's okay. Not really
Comes
something
walking-
we like to talk about, but okay.
Comes walking back with the food and sits on the table and pulls a chair over. He sees the one patron of the bar kind of reach on the counter. I'll chop your damn hand off and give it to the cleric.
Oh, snap.
He stops and brings it back. You're cut off for the night, cheap bastard. Just because the end of the world doesn't mean you can't pay your bill. He sits down.
End of
But,
the world. That's ominous.
No, people say that all the time. It's a figure of speech.
When you're older, you remember the first time the magic came through like this. The waves of the mist traveling randomly. You see those areas of magic pop up and people fry and the weirdest things happen. The priest quit casting spells. Poor woman. She was trying to cast a healing spell and ended up life draining. Poor child. She hasn't cast it since.
Mm.
Who does she
She lost-
who does she worship?
He kind of looks around quietly. She worships the old gods. Not the Dark Lady statue outside. I like that statue.
Yeah, he called it the Dark Mother.
Bless her dark heart.
Who is that?
One of the first settlers in the swamp. Made the region hospitable. She would control the dead back in the day, they said. They wouldn't go near her. She was able to move them on a whim. Her songs, her dance. They followed her. But she disappeared and they erected a statue in her honor. And we built the tavern next to the statue because we thought it was a good look.
Mm.
And then we built the town around the tavern eventually. People just kept staying. It was a piece of dry land.
So when you say she disappeared, did she leave? Did she something
That's what no
taken
one-
away in the mists?
That's what no one really knows.
Hmm.
From the way the stories say, the Dark Mother had it well. She controlled the swamp.
This didn't happen recently, did it?
No, that happened long ago, before the town. Town's been here for 80 score or so.
I have a question, and maybe this is common knowledge to everyone, but I'm from out of town.
Obviously, you still have a pep in your step. You still have the life in your eyes. I bet you even still have your soul.
Yep, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I think all
been a
three of you
minute.
were born with your souls.
Hmm.
Congratulations.
Hey,
Thanks.
thanks for that. That's cool.
You came through the mist, though. I think each of you did.
No, I was born here.
She came through the mist.
He looks at you. For an elf being born here, your spirit ain't broken yet.
Well,
That's an odd sight.
they say you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's bullshit.
Lass, the whole time I've observed you, I don't think you love anything.
Well, you haven't seen me kill undead yet.
Oh shit, you're one of them. Want me to stay in the tavern. But what's your question, boy? Spit it out.
How long has the last big guy been gone?
You be talking about the Dread Lord. The Lich?
Yeah.
Oh, he's been gone for a few years.
And how long ago did this glowy guy get here?
There's been a few that they're trying to vie for that vacant seat. He's the first one to ever come to the swamp region, though.
Sometimes you gotta get out there and shake a few hands and kiss a few babies.
He's only been in town a couple days. He ran most of my customers away.
Well, you can imagine why.
Oh yeah. You hear them the different voices? Dude
Yeah, I
makes
mean,
the hair on my back stand up. And I'll
I don't
tell
know
you,
if you-
that's a feat. That shit's tangled.
I kind of pushed my plate away a little bit.
I slide it over to me.
You don't like the possum? That was good fresh possum we caught this morning.
Oh no, I've had my fill. Thank you. So
It
that's,
still has the head on it. I'm just sawing that off.
so that's
No,
squirrel pudding.
he actually cut it to where you guys couldn't actually tell he was from a possum.
Right. I've eaten
He's
worse.
like- I bet.
You just have that
Hey-o.
look about you.
Hey yo,
I remember when
you
I
look
remember
like
when
you've
my
had to pay for a bus ticket before.
Yeah, just
God.
I got to get back to
Oh
Chattanooga.
God.
just the
Oh,
night
Lord.
before we were eating soup out of someone's sister's skull. So
Oh, you met
Alas,
Hawks.
alas, poor porridge. I knew you well.
So you all met Hawks.
Yeah.
yeah, we did.
Good nice
Good guy.
guy.
Hawks is he's a good one for a kobold.
Mm.
Everyone likes Hawks. He's like the Neelix of this. Well, season 3 on of Neelix. Season
Sheriff
1
won't let
Neelix
him
is
in.
creepy
no.
as fuck. Okay.
Sheriff won't let him in town again, but
Why is that?
random fireballs. Someone tried to get up on Hawks and push him and try to push him around, and nobody knew Hawks knew magic.
Well,
Hawks was just this little friendly thing that would come into town and leave and come into the town and leave, and he'd talk to his sister who wasn't there. And then he'd come into town and leave. And then someone tried to get up on him, and we buried 3 people that day.
well, that
Oh,
doesn't
fire
sound like
started.
that doesn't sound like a random fireball. That sounds like a purposeful fireball.
Don't box with Hawks.
Eh, the sheriff says what the sheriff said.
Hmm.
Not here anymore. Oh, Glow Eyes killed him yesterday.
Oh. Is he doing that a lot?
Killed the burgermaster too.
Why?
Now the burger's master's wife runs the town. Pretty much called him a liar. I mean, personally, if I was looking at somebody with glowing eyes that had multiple voices out of their mouth, I'd let them say what they want until they left. I wouldn't actually call him a liar. Just me. I mean, that's how you get your beard singed. Sheriff tried to come to the burgermaster's aid, and well, we're not going to talk about that. That was a piece of work.
So it's probably safe to say that the wife isn't running the town right now. Maybe in name only.
Yeah. They call it recruiting, expanding the order. They're getting recruits in town.
Well,
Those are some really nice shoes, kid. How'd you keep them that clean?
Well, the friction from pulling it out of people's ass who ask me questions about my things has cleaned them off.
Ah,
Sorry. I don't know what's coming over me. I just feel like this wave of
it's the beans.
I don't know. I
And
don't
I
mean
thought I-
sorry.
he shrugs. I had a son once. I know how you all are.
Well, that's a generalization. I'll be in the wagon listening to my Cure album.
He looks over at the order on the table, kind of leans back. From what they're saying, he's not the only one vying for the seat, but they got some prophecy from some mother of the elders or something that claims that he is the one. She saw a vision. Yeah, them church orders, they'd get their visions at night, and she got her vision over in the springs. That one holy spring over in Nuvachar, and said he was it. But he seems to be going at it with the senior one of these guys. Like he's not listening to her or whatnot, and they think he should listen, and it's quite hilarious. He's killed 2 of his own orders since they've been here. They spoke against him.
So there's conflict.
He's expecting to have to fight the Karagin and the Kagrat. From what they're saying, there's a member of the Kagrat that's rising in power, and they think they can ascend to the old Lich's throne. But
Do they have a name or any way to distinguish them from the rest?
the Baron of
Baron.
Matura Bay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not one to go pick a fight with the Kagrat, but I don't see the Kagrat taking up Lich's place. There's only one vampire I've heard of that could do that.
Oh yeah, who's that?
The master of the Barovia.
Oh, I got some bad news for you, pal.
I heard about that. You guys pass through Barovia at all?
Never been there.
We've all been there.
Is it true that the sun's shining as the stories say?
Yeah, apparently some heroes came through, cleaned up the joint.
You
I
want
heard
to
it
tell the tale
was-
as you heard it? It's nice to hear the tale again.
Well, I heard that there was someone named the Professional. He was extremely handsome. A master rogue.
As Kevin is talking, Kes just gonna lean over and take the whole pitcher of beer and just bring it over to her side of the table.
And his assistant was an armored elf, if I'm not mistaken. And then he had a dog. And I think I heard something about a meatball. I don't know how that one works. They went around and just cleaned up. Like I heard that the tales of his skill in combat and in lovemaking was top notch.
Wow.
But I don't know what that means because I'm just a kid. But that's what my dad used to say.
I mutter under my breath, boy, it really is true. That history is written by the winners.
Dwarf scratches his chin. That sounds like one of those sappy romantic dime novels you pick up from one of those traveling merchants.
Look, I'm just telling you what I heard from every
I-
woman that I spoke to about it.
I asked what you heard, and I'm sorry I asked. So, the Professional.
That's what I hear.
What's
I
he's
hear
professional at?
sounds like everything.
I don't know.
So
at this
he's
point-
good at a
this point,
lot
I
of
think-
things, but
In
not perfect at
particular,
anything.
stealing and lovemaking, though. That's what they really wanted to drive that point home.
That definitely sounds like one of them dime novels.
Yeah. He's a dime, all right.
Hey,
I hear.
Sarai, he speaks louder to the woman in the corner. This kid has a story that's right up your alley.
Right.
It's about stealing and
Heyo.
lovemaking. This older woman looks over.
I'm not telling her that. It's gonna make it weird. Don't make it weird for me.
She's like, he's just a boy. What does he know? the door laughs. He's like, that's Sarai. She's the midwife of the town. Not that there's been really any reason for a midwife lately, but she's the midwife. Slaps the kid on the back. You got a good story, kid.
Thanks.
right. He gets up.
Do you know where we can get supplies, maybe a map of the area?
Oh yeah. Octavio runs the general store.
Okay.
He's on the east side of town. About halfway up. Right before, actually, a little past halfway up on the east side. Just if you hit the town wall and you just keep going north, you'll run right into Octavio. If you go
Okay.
past it, you'll run up into the chapel and the graveyard.
Okay.
So-
One more question. Since you've seen these guys recruiting, do you think there's going to be a problem when we try to leave town? Have
I don't
people
know.
been-
No one's
have-
tried to leave yet.
No one's tried to leave?
No. He walks over the board and picks up a chalk and begins writing on the board. Writes a leaving pool. And he puts a bid up there. He writes newcomers and he puts a price of a bid up there.
Hmm.
I got 10 gold thinking maybe you don't make it out of town. But I wish you the best.
Well, I'm going to be back for that gold. So
Oh, lass. I'm a betting man. How do you want to take this bet?
well, how are we?
Wait, hold on.
Well,
If he kills you, I'm not going to be able to collect.
let me see the gold. Let me
Wasn't gonna
see
say anything.
the gold.
Oh, I got gold.
Really?
He pulls
Did
out
you
a
just-
pouch.
Yeah, we just paid
you
for
just
dinner.
say-
He
right?
shows us the 3 pieces we just gave him.
He pulls a pouch out and shows some gold in it, some silver.
Okay.
They used to pay.
Mhm.
Some of them don't. And he points like that. Fool! I swear to, I told you reaching over the counter. God, where's my fucking axe?
Well, I'm gonna be wrapping up the remainder of the bread in a tablecloth.
Y'all staying the night?
Maybe.
I
Do you have
got 4
vacancies?
I normally I have 4 empty rooms, but I got 2 empty rooms right now.
Okay. Well, we will take them or reserve them.
Done. He walks over and pulls off 2 wooden keys off the slot and drops them on the table.
I take one.
Well, clearly because of the amount of beans you've eaten at this meal,
That's true.
I really don't want to share a room. You go ahead and take that one all to yourself, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to fart into the air vent.
The
He's
hell
gonna-
you don't. I'll put a
Yeah.
cork in your ass if I smell you out that room.
He's gonna open the door that separates the two rooms.
I just like the fact that this tavern has central AC. I think that's quite modern. What is it?
Hey.
It's just a bunch of peasants sitting down in the basement, just blowing hot air into tubes.
Hey, lass. The burgomaster's wife probably has a spare room up at her house. If you'd rather stay there, then unless it's your husband, then my bad for assuming.
He's not my
No,
husband,
no,
but
no.
if he tried anything, I would rip his stomach open. So
Mm.
That'd be kind of funny to watch with all that water.
He thinks you're a
You-
water balloon.
You have a strange sense of humor.
Have you seen the town, bud?
No, but we should.
Should we?
We should-
Okay.
say hello to the burgomaster. It's only
He walks
respectful,
up to you.
right?
He walks up to Rayne. Would you be offended if I poke you? I've never seen one like you before.
All I can say is don't kick the tires if you aren't planning on driving me home.
Well, it does get cold in that.
Please don't poke me. I can assure you I am flesh and
I think
mostly blood.
I think he thinks you're like a heated waterbed, right?
What? I'm humanoid. I'm just a slight shade of blue. It's not like I'm a fucking transparent pitcher of water.
Hey, he shrugs and walks off. Scratches his ass
Better
and
not poke.
scratches his
You
head.
Be careful what spot you poke. you might get more than you bargained for.
Whoa. If you put it in there for too long and come out with an ice cube on it.
No, I'm just saying I might suddenly grow several more rows of teeth.
All right.
We're talking about on the front end, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So what are you guys gonna do?
Well, I think it's still up in the air as to whether or not we're going to stay overnight. I think that's going to strictly depend upon the situation we find once we go and do a little investigating and sort of get the lay of the land.
I
Better to
think
reserve the keys early, though, right? Just in
Yeah.
case.
Well, yeah, I mean, we
Only 2
reserve the room. It
rooms.
doesn't mean we have to stay here. I mean, we can get the fuck out of Dodge if that's the
Yeah.
prudent course of action.
we we should get some supplies.
Yep, I agree.
We should also, if there is going to be an issue with us leaving, if we get a good idea of if there is more than one exit out of this town, we should probably be aware of it.
Right.
In looking at the town map, it would appear that is there just one gate on the south side?
Well, you
Uh,
guys got to explore the town to find out.
We'll have
Okay.
to, yeah, we should probably just take a walk around the.
Yeah, I mean that's the gate we
perimeter.
walked through. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
the gate on the south is the one you went through.
all right. Well, let's go sightseeing.
All right, which way do you go?
I would like to start on the east side of town just so we can get supplies, just because. And Kestra's gonna look at the two of you and be like, I think either of you could cause trouble.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Not
You
me.
think I could cause trouble.
I think you could. And that's why we should get our supplies and our map first.
Right.
She's talking about us.
She's talking about you mostly.
Oh.
You're in all kinds of trouble. You're the rookie. You're new, so we can't really trust you yet.
All right.
We've done this
Fine.
before.
Wait.
She doesn't remember it, but
But
we did.
Yeah.
And you know that
I don't know about all the love making part of it, but yeah, I hit
That's
the
a true
general
story.
gist of what the
True
story was.
that actually did happen. That happened. That's canon. They call it love canon.
Isn't it canon of some woman hitting on Kaeviir and then he ignores her as soon as he has access to her safe?
Kaeviir is a very, very old man and is like sort of, he's done that part of his life, and he's sort of, and I mean, still like a regular guy, but just not focused on that as much as a younger person.
He's old, so he can't get it up. Okay, I got it. All right, now it makes total sense.
That's absolutely not true. By the way, I wield grease as one of my favorite spells, so let me tell you, I can get jobs done. Anyway, but there was a time where I needed to get something out of a person's safe up in the upstairs, right?
Mhm.
So this lady, just for whatever reason, just took a liking to Kaeviir. It was like kind of flirting with him, so he just went with it, and we walked our way up to the bedroom. And as soon as I got up there and I did an investigation check and could figure out where the fucking vault was, I was just like ignored her, just ghosted the shit out of her, walked straight over there, opened it, took the stuff out of the fucking safe, and left.
But Kaeviir, I thought you said you were going to crack my safe.
I did.
I thought you meant that metaphorically.
Well, I didn't. No, you're repulsive to me. I'm very important. I don't know if you know this.
I've gathered that you think so. Yes. All right, to Octavio's we go.
Sure.
So as you guys pass the buildings on the east side going that way, you pretty much just see a bunch of housing for the people that live in town. You see a couple more of the order over there. You see 2 more of them. It seems that they have repurposed one of the houses for them as they're staying there.
Right. So
Or
like
they don't.
a forward camp.
A friend
Oh.
house.
How many people does it look like could comfortably stay in that house?
Keep in mind, it could be barracksy.
Yeah,
So it could just be people sleeping there when they're off duty.
true. But he's only been here a couple of days, so
You could probably, I mean, if you stack bunk beds in there, you could probably get 4 in there easy.
but where are
We
they
have
getting
so much more room for activities.
where are they getting bunk beds from?
You don't know how the houses are built.
That's true. All these houses could just be very utilitarian.
Right. They're all made for gamers living in Korea. It's just bunk beds. What are they using them for? Nothing.
Who's got time to sleep?
When you're trying to practice your fucking no scoping.
Yeah.
Are they
That's a purist life. Can we just be for real? Like a gamer that trains 17 hours a day and then sleeps and wakes up, eats a bowl of rice, and then goes back to gaming. That's like a fucking monk. Those guys are awesome.
It's
I
either
love
that
them.
or somebody's got to level up those WoW characters that have been paid for, right?
Yeah.
are any of these order people watching us? Like more than just a cursory kind of glance?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, they glance at you guys a couple times. They do like check out your guys' equipment that they can see and whatnot, trying to figure out you guys. But they're kind of keeping a distance from you in a sense.
Okay.
You know, the one thing we don't know is how many of these internal order people came with him and how many have been converted since he's arrived.
Mm-hmm.
So he may have shown up without an entourage at all, and he's just flipped a couple of people, or he may have already had a bit of a small army with him. We don't know.
Hey, I'm gonna need some passives, I think. D-Walk, I'm gonna use a stealth check without telling anybody anything.
Okay.
I got a 30.
Jeez.
Yeah, you're
The
hidden.
Kevin, go.
Well, you guys were talking for a minute, and I'm going to say that the last time I talked is about when I used that. I'm going to kind of just start walking a little slower, and then at some point kind of drift back and make my way for a wall and just kind of stand up against the wall. About, I don't know, maybe a house or two down from where the people have taken over. I'm a kid, so I don't really draw a whole lot of attention.
Okay.
Kind of leaning up against the wall. And I want to use Insightful Manipulator to watch them for a minute apiece.
Okay.
So that I can determine, it says, if you spend at least 1 minute observing or interacting with another creature outside of combat, you can learn whether it's your equal, superior, or inferior in any two of its intelligence, wisdom, charisma scores, or class levels, if any. So I'm going to choose intelligence because that'll tell us caster. And then I want to see, well, I don't think there'll be a higher class level. So let's say wisdom as well.
All right. And what is your intelligence and wisdom?
17, wisdom 16.
Intelligence, they are inferior, but wisdom, they are on par.
So clerics, priests, maybe paladins, but they're in cloth. So maybe these are the cloth guys, right?
Mm-hmm. The ones you heard the chainmail underneath. Yeah.
So clerics most likely then.
Or chain shirt underneath, but
yeah, but something light that doesn't interfere with their spell casting then. Okay. And then I'm going to do like a double walk. Not so it's suspicious, but
okay.
I'm going to roll another stealth check to see if I can get back up to the crew without them noticing I was missing. Is that cool? Been gone for about 3 minutes.
The problem is walking. I think they would have picked up you being gone 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they wouldn't have seen you slip away, but within 3 minutes they would have turned around or something and realized you were quiet and not there.
Okay, well, would I be able to sneak back in without them noticing me?
That depends that depends on how they're looking for you. So, how would you two react when you realize he's not there?
I would assume that he's doing something sneaky, and we shouldn't like raise an alarm. So I'm gonna try to continue to act normal.
That's that age retraining. It's just coming through the void.
How does Rayne feel about this?
Confused, conflicted, a little gassy.
One does want a hint of color.
Well, maybe if you ask the storekeep about your cholesterol, he might be able to help you.
Yeah. I am a stranger in a strange land. I believe I am just going to follow Kestrel's lead. So whatever she's doing, I'm going to do as well.
All right. Then you better brood and just kind of like keep walking and Hulk with your armor.
Yeah. I do the thing where I'm like 2 steps behind her and I'm imitating every move. And then if she stops and turns around, I'm just like, aloof and, checking out a tree.
Kaeviir shows up as Kestrel's finishing a story and she's like, yeah, then I just beheaded his horse while he was still on it. You should have seen how he flew off. It was pretty funny, actually.
That's the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that horse was really gross.
It's like the Godfather up in there.
The what?
Oh, you're back.
The hell did you go?
What do you mean? I was here the whole time.
Okay. I'd ask Kestrel if this sort of thing happens all the time, but she wouldn't know.
So you guys reach Octavia's shop. You see a little sign on the top that's just kind of hanging off one chain, Octavio. See a couple of windows on the side, the door. It seems cracked open.
Seen better days. I'll walk up to the door and kind of. You said it's cracked open?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just sort of push it open. Hello?
Yeah, well, hi. Hi.
Sorry, didn't mean to startle you, I think.
No. Oh, I was sleeping. How can I help you guys?
Supplies. If you don't mind, I think we're going to take a look around at your wares and see if there's anything we might need to pick up for our travels.
You guys are in order.
No.
That is, wow.
Unless we get a special discount, in which case, yes, we are. I'm assuming there's no discount.
Thank you so much for listening to Return to Ravenloft, a Freelance Heroism podcast. If you'd like to support us more, check us out on patreon.com/freelance_heroism and just donate any amount. We have prizes and journal entries and art that we post regularly, a few times a week. And we'd really appreciate any support you could give us. Thank you.
Our cast includes Rachel Moore as Kesselgard Reskill, Dees Cassius as Master Kaeviir, Nathan Lett as Captain Rayne Trichet, and David, aka D-Walk, as Dr. Midnight, and everyone else in the game. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next week.
The invoice is in the mail.
You actually see someone you recognize walking up. Actually, no, you don't. Never mind.
Oh.
My apologies.
David!